Hey, beautiful. I just wanted to help out anybody that might be trying to get organized and get ready for their next term. My next term starts in February. I will be officially starting on Sunday, attending a webinar. I want to start with MZC1, and I have already printed out, though, all of the information I need for this course. And I saw some posts on the Facebook group about where is this information? And if somebody had just told me this, I would be so much further along than I am now. The course mentors, some of them do email you all this information and others don't. I had a couple in my last term that did and others that didn't. I had to dig around and find it. But if you go into your course of study on the right, for your classes for your next term, I would click around and show you, but they're so weird about what people see. I don't understand why everything has to be such a secret. This would help people out so much more. But you go into your degree plan and you find your courses for your next term that you've set up for your classes. You can click on that class and then get in there and look at all the stuff. Now, some stuff you can't access because you are not officially enrolled yet because the next term hasn't started. What you can get to is all the paperwork that your mentors have put in there about the course. So you just go in, like I am, go to the right, and then you click on course tips. And when you're in here, you can look and see these are actually documents that when you click more are linked to Google Drive documents for this particular course. There's one class, Children's Literature. They do not use Google Drive for anything. It's just, I don't know what they used, but it's really hard to save the work in there. For this particular class, MZC1, everything they have created is a Google Drive document, which is fabulous. I'll talk about Google Drive more in a second. But you want to get in here, you click where it says more, and then you start clicking on these resources. The Choose Your Learning resources was literally just added in the last few hours because it wasn't there this afternoon when I was clicking around. So they're continuously adding things. You want to check all the way through Sunday of this week to see what else they add. Because 2 weeks ago, when I finished my last class for my last course, all that was in the course tips was the pacing guide and then that one at the top that says MZC1 videos. Nothing else. And now when you go in there, there's the boot camp schedule, which is also linked to the cohort schedule where you can go and sign up for the cohorts. All their cohorts, you have to sign up for them. And there's the boot camp schedule. The boot camp schedule is a linked document. So when you click on the links in the boot camp schedule document, it opens up to worksheets for each chapter. It has links to the videos they want you to watch and links to the Quizlet flashcards for that particular chapter. I also heard today that you can do the worksheets, then tell your course mentor, email them and say, I finished the worksheet for chapter 1. They will send you a quiz that you can quiz yourself with so you're just immersed in this information and you will be ready for your pre-assessment as well as your objective assessment. So you definitely want to get in here and get all this stuff. Now, let's say you don't have a printer, but you do have an iPad or a way to print it maybe somewhere else, maybe not tonight. That is why it is so important to learn how to use Google Drive. If you are feeling weird about the email program, because I wasn't really very well versed in Google Drive when I started, you want to go on YouTube, watch YouTube videos, learn how to use Google Drive. Google Drive is fabulous because not only does it allow you to store all these documents, you can organize them, you can keep track of your learning resources, and then when you go to work on something or do something, you can just open up your folder for MZC1 and all of your stuff is there and easily accessible. These documents are not editable, so you can only read them, they're view only, but it's just nice to have all of your stuff organized and in one place. So you do want to learn how to use Google Drive. So I printed out all this stuff, so now I'm going to show you how I organize it. But again, like I said, you go in here and you go in course tips, and that's where everything is. Now I have had a course where the stuff was in course announcements. There were links. In one course I had, so click everything, but in this particular course, they're all in course tips. My suggestion is you go through each course that you have go over there, go to course tips, and look and see what is in there if you want to get a head start. I prefer this much more because you're hit with a barrage of emails for each course. And my inbox just got so crazy. So I personally prefer to just deal with the things for this course. And the way I am working, I found a document on one of the old forums, the WGU Students Forum, from a guy who was in an MBA program. And so what he did was he just had some tips for people who are starting the school. And one of his suggestions really helped me out my first term. He said, you focus on one class and one class only until you finish it. You kind of just immerse, just drown yourself in all the stuff for that class. This was particularly good for when you have a class that has an objective assessment, because all that's on your mind is the stuff from this class. You're not trying to juggle information from 3 different classes, which is perfect for if you have to take a test. All you've been talking about, all you've been thinking about, all you've been working on is the stuff for this class. So that's what's going to be in your brain. And for me, that worked. Even classes that I was struggling with, I was like, no, I'm just going to push through and finish. And focusing on that one class, I moved a lot faster through those courses than jumping back and forth. Now, that's how it worked for me. If you were struggling last time, maybe you might want to give that a try and focus on one class at a time. That's helped me in my schoolwork also because I have a job, and my job requires me to create things and do things, and I can't be thinking about 4 classes at once. And the other thing that he talked about in his document was how you're going to school online, so you need to start thinking online. You do not have to juggle 4 classes this semester and go to 4 different classes every single week. You can only worry about one class at a time. And just think about it. If you do that, maybe instead of taking 2 months or 3 months to do these 4 classes, you can finish one class, in a week or 2 weeks. It might just make you go a lot faster doing one class at a time. So that's just something to think about. That's what's been working for me. What I would do is I would create a binder for that class. And you look in, you find all the information from the teacher. For instance, these documents here were the task instructions and how to do them. So I keep those in the center. I also keep the pacing guide in the center and any task revision tips. And then for the pockets, now this class was for Cultural Studies and Diversity. There were 2 tasks, so I kept all the stuff for task 1 in the front and all the stuff for task 2 in the back. If there had been more, I would have paper clipped them or binder clipped them together to keep them organized. I loved doing this. I would print out my evaluation results. I would print out my task submissions. I would print out the rubric instructions for the task. I would print out everything and keep it all with me. It was super helpful. So this is a class from last term. Now, this term, my classes, a couple of them, too much stuff to put in one of these 3-prong folders for a couple of them. And I always get the plastic kind because it lasts a lot longer. The MZC1 stuff, I had to get a binder. So I'm going to get some tabs, because this is stuff for each chapter in here. So I've got the boot camp instructions. I had the pacing guide too. I've got the webinar schedule over here in the front pocket. I signed up for the cohorts and the webinars. Just so you know, some of the dates on the webinar schedule for some of the dates still said January when you clicked on the link. So I emailed the course mentor, and I haven't had a chance to check my email to see what the course mentor said about that. But there is a worksheet for each chapter. I printed that out. And so I'm going to put tabs on those chapter things. I also printed out a calendar for myself, a blank calendar that I could write on. So I organized when all the cohorts were, when I was going to take them, and then, of course, write down the time for your time zone. So I'm Central Time. And so now this is my binder ready for MZC1. So I'm going to find something pretty to put in the front to label it. But I just wanted to help some people who feel like I don't know where to start. This is where I start now for every class. I get in there, I find the course tips, I find all the documentation from the mentors, and unfortunately, that varies wildly. Some people have like crazy resources for you. Like this class has Quizlet flashcards, which helped me pass TJC1. Yeah, I feel like it was TJC1. Oh my goodness, because that's all I did that week. Anytime I had a free second was play those Quizlet quizzes, and that helped me pass the class. So they have taken the time to do all this stuff. So you just want to just immerse yourself, just use all the resources, and I think you would do fine. But you need to have some place to have all these resources and have everything organized, and that's why Google Drive comes in so convenient, and that's why putting it in a binder comes in so convenient. So I am going to stop this video now. I am setting up a Facebook group for this course for people who want to join, so you can talk about it. We can keep each other accountable, keep each other's spirits up, and encourage each other to finish this course in the 4 weeks that this boot camp is going to take. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.